here on CNN Philippines. We, together with the rest of the country, are watching Taal volcano very closely. Alert level 4 is in effect.
Now that means volcanic activity is intensifying. Now that could lead to a very dangerous eruption. And we have seen the most captivating and very concerning images of Taal volcano.
What is happening at this point is what is known as a phreatic eruption. Well, that means it is steam-driven. There's no lava involved.
That's right, Andre. However, that type of explosion is pushing a plume of ash at least 100 meters high, and it's affecting residents not just in the area surrounding the volcano, but also beyond.
Yeah.
We'll talk about how we can protect ourselves from volcanic ash later in the show.
That's right. I mean, a lot of people were actually posting and commenting on social media about how they are affected by the ash.
Taal is one of the shortest volcanoes in the world, and it's the second most active volcano in the Philippines. Its last eruption was back in 1977.
All right. Well, certainly, I think many people yesterday, even just within Metro Manila, experienced some effects of this eruption. Certainly, last night I was coming home. You could see the ash on the road, and when I got home, it was pretty thick outside my house.
That's right.
Well, good morning to everyone and welcome to New Day. I'm Rieta Cotrillo.
I'm Andre Felix. It's Monday, January 13th.
And thank you so much for joining us this morning here on New Day. I'm Christine Jacob Sandejas.
And I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and you're watching CNN Philippines.
Taal volcano is one of the smallest volcanoes in the world, but it is also one of the deadliest active volcanoes. Taal is erupting for a second day, and residents in the area have been moved to safer ground. Tremors are also being felt on the volcano's island, and you can imagine just how scary that is for the people living in that area. Volc says the eruption has sent ash falling on nearby provinces, including parts of Metro Manila. And people have been lining up at medical supply and hardware stores, which are quickly running out of masks that could offer protection from the hazardous volcanic ash. Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, by authority of President Rodrigo Duterte, has ordered the suspension of classes in all levels and work in government in the affected areas of Calabarzon, Metro Manila, and Central Luzon, except frontline response agencies. The private sector is also encouraged to suspend work for the safety of their employees. Now let's go live to our Paulo Barcelon, and he joins us live from Santo Tomas in Batangas. Paulo, good morning. What is the situation there this morning?
Hi, Ria. Just like what you mentioned, I'm here at an evacuation center here in Santo Tomas, Batangas, where evacuees are waking up to an entirely different morning. As you can see, they're cleaning up the ashes that are coming inside this evacuation center. And this is where families from the nearby town of Talisay were brought after the eruption yesterday of the Taal volcano, something that last happened in the 60s and the 70s. It was a seemingly ordinary Sunday for many of us, especially those heading to a popular tourist spot, which is Tagaytay City, until, like what I mentioned, Taal volcano erupted, plumes of ash and smoke, forcing people to protect themselves from the strong smell of sulfur and harmful ashes. This, coupled with light rain, made traveling near impossible, with some areas in Batangas having zero visibility. Power was also out in some areas, and tremors are also being felt in some affected areas. Authorities have implemented forced evacuation of residents who are living near the Taal volcano's crater. The Office of Civil Defense Calabarzon says forced evacuation measures were implemented in areas such as Tagaytay, in Cavite, and in the towns of Talisay, Balete, Laurel, San Nicolas, and Agoncillo in Batangas. The OCD also said evacuations were done due to the raising of Taal volcano's activity to alert level 4. But for Ruby Banairo and her family, leaving the crater island long before the alerts were raised was a decision they needed to take.
Sadya pong malimit na po talaga yung pagburog. Mga bandang alas 2 po, biglang bumuga na po yung abo.
Meanwhile, George Coronado, who also lives in the crater island, says they were caught off guard by the eruption but chose to evacuate before things got worse. He's grateful no one from his family is hurt, but he's worried about the animals he left behind.
Ay, mamamatay na rin siguro dahil wala naman eh. Hindi naman namin nadala eh. Ang ano lang doon, yung kabayo, kawawa naman.
Ruby and George are just one of at least 65 families staying here in this particular evacuation center in Santo Tomas, Batangas, and local officials expect more evacuees to come to their city.
po ng aming mga schools, nagpaabot na rin po ang aming mga district supervisors na ino-open na po nila yung schools para po i-cater din po ang mga evacuees.
Well, Ria, just like what I mentioned, there are at least 2 evacuation centers here in Santo Tomas where families from Talisay and other areas are being brought. The other one is the city gymnasium. Now, primary needs of the evacuees are food, clothing, clean drinking water, and N95 masks. I've seen them wearing the surgical masks, but it's really important that they are given N95 masks because of the amount of exposure they have to the ash as a result of the eruption of the Taal volcano. Ria?
Paolo, some very dramatic footage there. Are you still experiencing ashfall until this morning where you are?
Yes, Ria. In fact, the ash that we're experiencing right now is quite different from the ashfall we've experienced in the Tagaytay and the Talisay areas. In the Tagaytay and the Talisay areas, Ria, the ashfall is coupled with rain, which really makes it hard for you to see where you're going, especially if you're traveling. It's quite difficult to wipe it off using your car's wiper blade. So if you're driving through an ashfall where there is rain, it's advised that you wash your windshield with water instead of using your car's wiper blade for a prolonged period of time. But right now we're experiencing, it's quite dry here in Santo Tomas, but the ash feels like dust. It feels like small specks of cement are falling on your hair, it's falling on your jackets, and sometimes you can even taste the ash. But we are still experiencing that kind of ashfall right here in Santo Tomas, and this is probably the same situation not just here in Batangas but for other areas in Luzon, which have also felt the ashfall as a result of that eruption of the Taal volcano. Ria?
With that said, Paolo, are we expecting more families to be evacuated?
Yes, Ria, we are expecting more families to be evacuated because as of last night, the last information we got from the City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office is that an initial number of 3 families have moved to the gymnasium. Some of the trucks delivering the evacuees from Talisay have also been instructed to move to the gym. This is to avoid overcrowding this center behind me, and there are already at least 65 families who are living here, and so officials are not taking any chances to have these facilities be overcrowded. That's why they are moving some of the other evacuees from Talisay into the city gymnasium. Ria?
All right, you stay safe. Paolo Barcelon there reporting from Santo Tomas, Batangas. And now we talk to a resident of Taal, Batangas who evacuated yesterday shortly after the Taal volcano erupted. Her name is Sheila Estacio. Good morning, Sheila. Thanks for speaking with us this morning.
Yes, good morning.
Sheila, what did you experience yesterday nung nalaman nyo pumutok ang Taal volcano?
Natakot kami kasi nag-amoy na talaga siya ng asupre and then nagpapanik na yung mga tao. So, sinabi ko sa mother ko mag-impake na kasi just in case lumala, at least makakaalis kami. Kagabi, umalis na kami kasi sobra-sobra ng lindol.
Okay, so sabi nyo kahapon sa aming staff na talagang nagpapanik ng mga tao sa may Taal. Ano ang nakita at narinig nyo that caused you to panic?
Umuusok na siya, tapos dumadagong-dung na yung may mga sound na siya. So, tapos yung mga tao sa kalsada, ang dami nang dumadaan, mga hayop nila, dala-dala nila. So, inilikas nila lahat yung mga hayop and pati mga baby, nakasakay na sa motor. So, talagang lahat kami nag-impake na. So, actually, andito na kami ngayon sa Laguna.
Saan sa Laguna yan, Sheila? Are you in an evacuation center? Are you staying with relatives?
Actually, dito ako nag-work. Andun lang ako yesterday talaga. So, sa San Pedro, Laguna.
Alright. At sa kasalukuyan, safe na po naman kayo at mga miyembro ng inyong pamilya?
Yes, we are safe now. Pero sa biyahe namin last night, worse kasi ang kapal-kapal na ng alikabok and buhangin. And halos maligo na kami sa alikabok and buhangin kagabi. So pray kami kasi nakarating kami na ng ice dito. Pero worse pa rin dito sa Laguna and Carmona, ang kapal-kapal ng usok at alikabok.
Sheila, gaano katagal na ho ba kayong naninirahan sa Taal, Batangas? Has your family lived there your whole life?
Yes, I am already 44 years old now. Doon ako mismo pinanganak sa Taal.
And have you ever experienced anything like this?
No, this is the first time. And ang last putok daw kasi is 1940s. Ang mga tao talaga halos nag-iiyakan na, nakikirapan ng kagabi kasi mayat-maya na yung lindol. So lahat kami doon sa barangay namin, nag-alisan na kagabi pa.
All right, thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. We do appreciate it. That was Taal, Batangas resident.